We've just arrived in Venice and we're waiting for our taxi. Here comes the taxi. In Venice, the taxi ride to the hotel can be a little challenging. We were very happy to see our hotel, the Hilton Molino Stuckey. This started life in the late 19th century as a flour mill and then a pasta factory. It's now a very nice five-star hotel. This is the view from the rooftop deck of the hotel. Our hotel is on the opposite side of the basin from St. Mark's Square, so every time you want to go anywhere, you have to wait for the hotel shuttle, and this takes you over to the other side to the main water bus terminal. We're waiting for the number 1 water bus to arrive and take us into the Grand Canal. We're just coming up to the Rialto Bridge, and everybody wanted a good view here. We've just reached the train station. We're off the water bus. We're going to walk back through the back streets till we get to St. Mark's Square. We've just had our lunch at an outdoor patio, and as we move towards the Rialto Bridge again, the crowds are just getting crazy. We decided to go back up the canal again that night to see what it was like with all the bright lights. However, it was very disappointing. It wasn't bright at all, just a lot of people with their luggage going to the train station. It's our last day in Venice, and we've taken the 1-hour boat ride to explore Burano Island. We've arrived and we're walking away from the boat terminal to explore this very interesting place. Back in Venice, another great waterfront meal. This morning we're on our way to the Venice cruise terminal, and since the big cruise ships aren't allowed there anymore, we'll be getting on a bus for the 2-hour ride to Trieste, where we're going to board the Holland America ship Oosterdam. It's our first full day here in Trieste. The ship is parked very close to the Old Town area, and we're going off to find the information office to get some maps. We've just been given a short cut through a parking lot to an elevator. Well, that worked, and when you get up to the top of the castle, the view of Trieste is really great. Right outside the castle we even found a little kiosk which was able to make our favourite cappuccinos. Back at ground level we were able to check out a small Roman amphitheatre. On the way back to the ship we discovered that Trieste even has its own small version of a canal. Back on board, this is the view from our balcony, and we'll soon be ready to leave. Here comes the pilot. Next stop is Rijeka in Croatia. This is the first of our 2 stops in Croatia. There's not a lot to do here, so we're going on a walking tour. We did come across an interesting tunnel system dating back to World War II. This is not one of Pauline's favourite activities.
It is probably the most interesting thing here.
From this point the tunnels just keep on going but get a lot smaller, so at this point we decided we'd had enough and turned round and went back. Today we're sailing into the port of Korčula. This is our second and final stop in Croatia. Our ship is too big to moor here, so we've all come ashore in the ship's tenders. The old town is around the top of a hill, so we're working our way up there. For some reason we decided to climb this observation tower. It turned out not to be a great idea, but was difficult to turn round and go back. The view when we got up there was terrific. Never a dull moment on this part of the trip. Getting back down to the ground was also an unforgettable experience. We're leaving the hustle and bustle of the old town to find somewhere in the shade to have lunch in the harbour. We're back on board the ship. We have a sea day tomorrow and then we'll be in Santorini. Tomorrow we'll be in Fira, the capital of Santorini, where we'll be taking tenders ashore. Access to the town from the dockside is by a very old and slow cable car. There is also a very steep donkey track which is not recommended, so we're taking a ferry down the coast to a bus terminal. The boat ride to the bus terminal takes about half an hour, and the bus takes you right into the town. This is a lot better than waiting in line for the cable car. We've just left the bus, and this is our first view of Fira. This is the view from the top of the cable car. This is really steep.
Don't know which side it'll be on. There,
That's right.
here it goes.
There didn't seem to be a lot of people waiting for the cable car, so we took it down to the ground level where we can pick up the ship's tender. Another early morning, another port. This morning we're in Rhodes. This morning we're going for a walk around the old town, so we just have to walk along the walls until we find the first entrance. Somehow we have to find a way across this traffic. Now we're inside the walls of the old town. I think this is going to be very interesting. This looks like our coffee stop.
Hello.
Hello. As we continue our walking tour, we come across several buildings dating back to 1309, when the Knights of St. John came to Rhodes. They were finally defeated by the Ottomans around 200 years later. We could have stayed listening to the street musician a bit longer, but had to start working our way towards the ship. This view from our balcony shows some of the other ships moored here. Today we're going to be in Kusadasi, Turkey. This is the starting point for a bus trip to Ephesus and looks like about half an hour before we dock. We're on the way. As usual, this place is going to be very crowded. We're now walking down the same street that people walked down over 2,000 years ago when Ephesus was a busy trading centre. In 2015, Ephesus was named as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At the end of the tour we went through the bazaar, where they were very busy selling us boxes of Turkish Delight and other products advertised as genuine knockoffs. We managed to avoid the carpet demonstration because if you've been to one, you know you don't want to go to another. Next stop, Mykonos. This is the first morning view outside Mykonos. This is another tender port. There are several big cruise ships here already. It's going to be very crowded and take a long time. We took the ship's tender to the cruise dock and we've just got off the local ferry in the old town. Lots of people, lots of narrow lanes, but we found our way to our coffee stop. We're trying to work our way around the island to see the windmills, but a lot of other people have the same idea. And this is what everyone has come here to see. So this is the lineup for the local ferry to take you back to the cruise terminal to pick up your ship's tender. Today we're going to be in Istanbul, and this is the view from our balcony as we approach the dock. Here's a view of the cruise terminal. We'll be down there soon because we're going out on a tour of the Blue Mosque, the Topkapi Palace and the Grand Bazaar. As usual, there's a short bus ride to the start of the tour. We're off the bus and walking to the entrance, and it already looks as if this is going to be very crowded. Our first tour will be around the Blue Mosque. This is one of the most rushed tours we've ever been on, and after 15 minutes in the mosque we were on our way outside and off to the next destination. This is our group walking towards the entrance of the Topkapi Palace. There is also a great view from the palace grounds. After a short walk, we're going to be in the Grand Bazaar. This is it, one of the world's oldest shopping malls. This is a truly amazing place, and we could have done with a whole day here. not just the half hour that was allotted. Now we're back on the bus on the way back to the port.
Tabii tabii kaptan geliyor zaten. Sen araçla...
This is the early morning view of Istanbul, and we're about to pull out around 8 a.m. We've taken on a pilot and also a guide who will provide a commentary as we cruise through the Dardanelles. We're now approaching the longest suspension bridge in the world. It was opened in 2022 and commemorates a battle fought in World War I in 1915. In a few minutes we're going to head around to the back of the ship to get a better view. As we've been cruising along, we've had Europe on one side and Asia on the other, and this bridge connects the two continents. A little bit of excitement now is coming towards us with 3 NATO naval ships, one of them carrying the Turkish flag, and they're on the way to the Black Sea. We are now docking in the port of Piraeus for Athens, our last destination. We're now docked and we're just waiting for the gangplank to go down so we can get a taxi to the metro, which will take us into Athens, where we're hoping to be able to climb up the Acropolis. We couldn't get a taxi, so we finished up doing the 45-minute walk to the metro. This is our first view before we start the climb. We've taken our time. It's been a bit of a struggle, but we're now at the top. What a spectacular view! This is what we came to see, the Parthenon. The Parthenon is a Doric structure built about 500 years BCE. It's still standing, but there's a lot of reconstruction work to help it along. This building, known as the Erechtheion, was built around 500 BCE and is also known as the temple of the goddess Athena. The 6 original columns, known as the caryatids, and carved in the form of 6 maidens, have long been replaced due to erosion. As we scan across the amazing view, we've reached the end of our video. We were really pleased with our achievement in reaching the top of the Acropolis, but the video is now over. Tomorrow we'll be flying back to Toronto, and we'll see you all next time.